Hello. Beauty Box for Him community. I cannot even tell you how excited I am. You are in for such a treat. You are in for such a treat. I see Angela Campbell. She came in even before the show started. I can't wait to see Kim. Oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. Okay. I am going to give it a minute and wait exactly until 7 o'clock to just start talking, letting people populate. We're getting started. Hey, Patty Payne Hager, how are you, beautiful? Yes. Hey, Shanidria. I'm so glad you just popped on before your session. Thank you so much. Hopefully, you can watch it later on YouTube. So excited. Okay, so now I have that at 7 o'clock straight up, and we are serious about our time. We want to respect your time, so we want to get started on time. So, you guys, I am Cheryl Banks. I am the CEO and founder of the beautyboxforhim.com. I say .com, you can leave that part off, but I'm excited to be here, y'all. Do y'all know that just 3 months ago, I had no clue I would be doing this, and already we have our 501 C3 approval as an official nonprofit. We're already doing amazing things. And I want to tell you guys who are visiting for the first time that this business was started to empower women and enrich women's lives. I have been working with women for 30 years, and I lately have noticed a disconnect. I believe that with COVID, we went into the home for work and we stayed there, and we're not connected to each other, and we're not studying God's word. So not only are we about enriching women's lives, empowering women, but we have Bible studies and all sorts of things going on. We're going to have an actual space where women can come to get resources that they need. We will be working with women, single moms. We will be working with cancer survivors. I'm a survivor, and I was raised by a single mom, and there's so many other mental health, sex trafficking. We're going to be doing so much with the community. So I'm excited, and we're here for such a time as this. And you are about to meet an amazing lady, okay? Her name is Kim McHugh. And let me tell you about her. Now, I have known this lady for 30 years, 30. We kind of grew up together, and you'll hear a little bit about that in a few minutes. So let me just tell you about her. She is the first certified tea blending master in the state of Texas, and one of only a handful of certified tea masters nationwide. She has certifications from the Specialty Tea Institute and the American Tea Master Association. This love affair with tea was sparked by a series of life challenges, or a series of life-changing events, and a devotion to learning, blending, and tasting teas for over a decade. In 2013, she opened the first tea room in Bel Air, Texas, McHugh Tea Room and Gifts, offering over 65 organic teas from around the world, as well as tea-infused foods, tea classes. They have a private party room, afternoon tea, high tea, they have that there, and a full-service lunch menu served 6 days a week, okay? Prior to opening the doors to McHugh Tea Room, Kim was an executive senior sales director with Mary Kay, with us, and a public speaker and business coach for 20 years. Her dedication to leadership and personal growth has evoked women to push the boundaries. Following her cosmetics career, she represented a medical device company which focused on women's breast health. This further sparked her interest in tea, as many surgeons she met they suggested that consuming tea is one of the best dietary habits for cancer prevention. Kim focuses on the many uses of tea in food infusion and beauty regimens discovered by universities, hospitals, and fellow tea enthusiasts. She now teaches about the miraculous health benefits, social aspects, and fascinating history of organic teas. From around the world to private groups, companies, and her large following of loyal customers. She has been featured by media outlets such as Tea Time Magazine, Community Impact, The Buzz, Tea in Texas, Modern Luxury Bride, Voyage Magazine, CW39, and last week, she was in the Houston Chronicle. She's been even in local libraries. Kim has a humorous coaching style that transforms the way we think and feel about our health, our happiness, and our busy lives. Her motto is, there is always a way to see your teacup half full. To transform your health and wellness, you can actually book her for a coaching session, tea class, or event today. So let's tee up with my friend, my dear friend, my beautiful friend, Kim McHugh. I just read all of your accolades, talked about the beauty box. And so you're on. Look at how beautiful she is. And I just want to let you guys know that I have known Kim since 1993, brand new, babes, basically. And we have had so much fun together. And I cannot even tell you the things we've been through because we don't know y'all like that. Not yet. Anyway, so Kim, thank you so much for being here. And we want to know how you got here. How did it happen? Because in this group, there are many different types of women, all different races, all different ages, all different backgrounds. And some of us are stuck. Some of us are in the wilderness per se, or some of us, we're just trying to figure it out. And I'm all about giving people hope. I'm all about it's not over as long as you have breath in you. Mm-hmm. There are things to do. And so I wanted to introduce them to somebody like you. So tell us something that you feel is important in living your dreams, being a successful person, and that kind of things. Thanks for coming.
Wow, what a fantastic introduction. Thank you, Cheryl. It's so much fun to just see you. And I love when you come in the store too. It's just a crack. I had like tears the last time. I had like trapped. I was dying laughing so hard. It's just so much fun. When you have 30 years, there's a lot of history and a lot of things you can dredge up and laugh over. Thank goodness. Thank goodness there's no internet back then. That's all I got to say.
No social media. No. Oh, yeah. That was us BC. Before Christ.
Yes. Very glad. But I am very honored you picked me to be on your first episode ever. And I'm so very proud of everything that you're doing. We need more Cheryl Bankses in this world.
Yes. This is my first episode ever as an official nonprofit.
Incredible.
Yes. You are first. Yes.
I'm so excited. I'm very honored to be the first person. And I don't want to let you down. So I want to make sure to answer all the questions. Anybody has questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. I'm open book. I'll throw the good, the bad, the ugly out there. I throw it all out there. I think that's how we learn. And I don't cuss very much
anymore.
I try hard on TV, but no, I think that when you're talking about giving hope and having people that are in the desert, I remember that whole thing. When you said that resonated so much with me because I'm like, I've got to make a change. I've got to do a shift that would scare the crap out of me. I got to find what that shift is. And I don't even know why, but for some reason, when I was doing pharmaceutical device sales, which I have to tell you real quickly what this is, because some of the people out there will get a kick out of this. I had Jello mold boobs in my refrigerator. Now, my husband would open the refrigerator up and go, like, it's a whole refrigerator full of clear gelatin boobs with like olives floating in them because I was selling cryoablation devices for breast. If anyone's had a breast biopsy done, it's like a 12 gauge needle that real tiny, well, tiny-ish. It goes in there trying to take a core sample of whatever's in the breast. And I sold this device that did that, but I had to find a way to demonstrate it in doctor's offices. So I had the idea of getting a boob mold. It's just a clear mold, and I made Jello boobs, like C-cup boobs, and all in my refrigerator. My husband's like, "You're going to have to find another job. We got a whole full of stuff that could go in a martini. What is going on?" So yeah, but that's, I realized real quickly that I stepped outside from doing cosmetics to doing that. And then when I talked to doctors and they were saying, I wish I knew more about women's health, like the things that kept them healthy. They know how to fix you if your arm's broken. But when it comes down to it, you have to be such an advocate for your health these days. I think that's where I learned it, was being with doctors who said, I can't fix everything that walks into my office ever. And that made me wake up. I remember that moment, like lightning bolt moment, sitting in an office in Sugar Land. If anybody knows Dr. Ponce de Leon, if y'all know him, he's so cute. And he's talking to me about, we're doing Jello boob, cryoablation to, cryoblating olives. It was, it serves its purpose. But I kept thinking, he's right. If we don't make that a priority, who else is going to do it for us? It's not the doctor's job to wait. They just can't wait for you to come in with your problem. They want you to be able to advocate for yourself while at home. When you're not in front of the doctor, what are you doing? Yeah. And so that made me think about that more and going, what can I do to take control of my health, help my family and my friends? Mm-hmm. I just didn't know what it was going to look like. And when I stepped outside that desert you were talking about and went, what if I failed miserably? What would I want to really, really suck and fail at? Like, let me make it worth it. If I'm going to fail at something, it better be worth it. It wasn't like you tried that painting class and it sucked. I wanted something that was really meaningful. You're either going to win big or lose big. What's my win big? What's my lose big? What's that going to look like? I've never, ever, ever owned a restaurant. I've never, ever, ever. I worked in a restaurant for about 30 days, maybe, back when I was in college.
Yeah, I couldn't see you working in a restaurant back then.
Yeah, back then. It was bad. I got my hair caught in the register and got fired. So there was that. I know. And then it was one of those dumb old registers that doesn't tell you the change. And I'm like so math impaired. I went, you mean I can take change? What? So then I was like over. But I thought, here I stepped outside from doing biopsy Jello boobs to stepping into a restaurant. And I just decided I'm going to open it up in my hometown. And I talked to my mom. She overheard me talking about possibly opening up a tea store because I had my tea license. And she's like, well, I like to make pie. And she's really, really good at it. I was like, can I have your pie recipes for this? She goes, no, you cannot. I will be in that restaurant making pies with you.
And I love her mom, y'all. Billy Bob, her mom and dad. I love both of them. Oh my gosh, they're so priceless.
Yes. We have our mothers. Our mothers are soul sisters. Our mothers are so similar.
Yeah, my mom loves you too.
Man, my mother, I think they were cracked from the same bean pod. They're the same people. She's like, well, I'm going to go and cook for you. She worked in my restaurant for 2 years. Every day that I worked there, that woman's a beast. Somewhere within my genetic makeup is a beast. That's what I do know. And I thought, this is really amazing. So what happened was I opened this thing up. I got to learn about the public, like, because they're in your face. You can't hide out. Like where I was used to having jobs where I worked from home and then I go out in public when I choose to. This way you're in public and they're in your face every day. I'm like, ooh, this is a new one. I'm so accessible to the public that I had to learn boundaries, like really good, solid, healthy boundaries, which was a great lesson at my old age. Then I realized now I've got to learn about people that work for me. I never had employees. I maybe had one or two at a time, working for me contract, but not employees. So now I've got the responsibility of 10 or 11 humans that are depending on me to make this successful, for them to pay their bills, feed their bodies, and take care of their families. Wow. So the game just changes constantly. So when you think about stepping outside and trusting yourself, you probably, and this is for everybody listening, you probably don't give yourself anywhere near the credit you should for what you can do. I guarantee there is a beast in you that just needs to have the avenue to release it. And sometimes it's you going, let me fail at something big and worth it. Let me try. Just throw it out there.
It's like you are stronger than you think.
Ever. Yeah.
And you and I, we were talking, and I was like, find something you love and figure out how to get paid for it.
Yeah.
Right? Find
Yeah.
something you love. I love empowering women. I can't believe that just 3 months ago that the beauty box did not exist. God just came to me, answered a question, and said, use it for me. And here we are 3 months later, an official nonprofit doing a
Great.
podcast with my dear friend who's had your restaurant for over 10 years, which
Yeah.
is amazing in itself because a lot of small restaurants,
They don't make it. No, 3 years in, it's like 90% of them fail within the first year. And then I forgot what the percentage is now, but it's like 40% fail within 3 years.
but what I think your background
Yeah. Oh,
has
yeah.
geared you up for this. Not only that, your love for people, because you just said it. It's not just about me. It's about these people and their families.
I got to take care of them. The responsibility is not just me staying out front. And I think a lot of people think of the glamour of having a restaurant, like, oh, how you're a restaurant owner, and they just think it's like flower petals, unicorns, and very. I have a plunger in my hand fixing a light bulb and trying to figure out where the weird smell is coming from in the store. I mean, that's my job.
Right.
Is tackling that stuff every day and then trying to do it with a tiara on my head.
Do you remember our awesome mentor, Christine Peterson?
Oh, yeah.
Christine she said, first of all, you're working with the public. So she used to say, I have so many holes in my tongue from biting it because you can't say everything you feel. You got to keep it gentle. And she's like, you got to be a duck. You look graceful, but underwater.
Oh, yeah.
You are working. And then think like a man.
Yeah.
Wait, look like a woman, act like a lady,
like a dog.
like a dog.
Work like a and there's some days I mean, and I'll tell you this, because I said I think everyone should know the good, bad, and the ugly, but stepping into whatever it is, whether it's a restaurant or your 501c3 that you just started, you're going to have days where you just break down. Like, I cannot handle one more thing. That's just called being human and doing this thing that we do. And that's totally normal. But my mother made a comment. She says, you know what? Not every day is going to be a bed of roses, but at least you're in the garden.
Yes.
Brilliant. That's so good. Because I'm like, you could lay down in the dirt and cry all you want, girl, but you're still in the garden. So,
and if you're dirty,
yeah,
and you're working for yourself, you can't get fired.
No, that's true. Thank God. Maybe that was pretty much, I would have been fired 75 times.
And Mary Kay, our ultimate mentor, used to say, when you shoot for the moon, you land upon the stars. So even if you fail, there's something you're going to get out of that.
Always. And the failing is where I learned. And it's strange because everybody says, oh, you just, it's a lesson learned. And there's nothing that you're going to do that's going to kill someone or yourself. And when you're learning how to do something for good, that's just not going to happen.
Right.
I finally had to come to the conclusion that, even if I do make a mistake and go in the wrong direction with this, I'm not going to lose the business. I'm not going to hurt my people. And I'm definitely not going to hurt the public. It's fine. I'll just drop back 10 and punt, as they say in football, and I will figure it out. But if I don't figure it out, there's someone I can call to figure it out. And I've been to YouTube University so much, I can't even tell you. Right?
Me, because I have no clue about running a nonprofit, but I tell you what, nobody's going to outwork me, and I'm going to figure it out because that's how we're made, right?
That is it. And
you said something about reaching out for help.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, right?
No,
I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to do everything on their own. Speak to that.
You really have to reach out for all the time. As I just said, I'd never had a restaurant ever. And for some strange reason, I thought that's what I needed to do. But like you said, it's like God went, dink, I guess that's what I'm doing. And I told my family, they go, you did get fired from working in a restaurant, right? I was like, we have to bring that up. Do we have to bring that up? It's like, of course I did. But I really thought, well, I didn't own it. I was working in it. Maybe I just shouldn't be a server. That's my problem.
Right.
I and the owner back then.
Right.
So let me do it the right way. But I try to always lead by example. My people know that I will do everything that they do. I will clean toilets. I will serve tables. I will dust mop. I will do everything. I'll wash dishes because the dishwasher didn't show up. I will cook. I will do anything that needs to be done. So there's nothing that can be said that will, you're the boss and you don't get it. I never have heard those words in 10 years because like you just said, Cheryl, we're hard workers and we're going to figure it out. And
Yes.
every angle of what you're trying to do, you should work it. Every angle of it, understand it better. And it also helps you launch into new ideas all the
Right.
time, all the time.
And it's ingrained in us to lead by example. That's the only way to lead. You know, you can't be just telling people what to do and you've never done it or you won't do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why sometimes when people act like they can't do something, we don't understand. Does not compute.
Does not.
Right. Because I do it. I did it.
Yeah. I said that to my people, like, move. And they were standing there like, she just told me she wants this and this, and we don't have it on the menu. And I go, girl, come up with a solution. I'm very, very solution driven. This is my people say two things about me. And I didn't know this about me until someone brought it to my attention, which is interesting when you work with people like this, they'll just throw it at you. One was, I don't do passive aggressive very well. I do aggressive beautifully. I was told that to my family. So don't make her mad because she will find a solution. And then she doesn't care how she gets there. And this is true. I'm like, I don't care who did it. I don't pointing fingers. It just takes my energy and I don't have a lot of bandwidth for that.
Right.
So where's the problem? Let's solve the problem. And then I'll go back and find out later, how did that problem happen? And I'll fix it on my own. I don't need to throw anybody else under the bus to fix a problem. And a lot of times it's my problem. I'm the one that started it. But I didn't know it. Or that was one thing. The aggressive thing was hilarious. But that has to do with training we got in Mary Kay. Was if you got a problem with someone, it's going to slow you down. If you got a problem with something, someone, some event, whatever, it will slow you down. You solve it, you fix it, you
cut it out like a cancer because it's red.
Yeah, get it done. Just squash as fast as you can because it will grow, and morph and turn into something that was never meant to be.
Right.
So the second you get it when it's just kind of a nuisance, squash it immediately and move on. So keeping the end result in mind too, even if you don't know your end result. Now, ladies, if y'all are listening to this and you don't know your end result, like I don't know what that picture looks like. I can't make a vision board because I know there's something I need to do, but I can't form it into a vision or a feeling or words, or I just can't quite force it into form.
Right.
Start making steps towards every time it feels good. Make a step towards good, like it feel okay. That felt good. Let me keep stepping that way. Keep stepping that way. Right. That's how things become clear and they get in picture. Is taking steps towards it. It may not be that one step may not be the right way, but I think that's how we get where we are supposed to be. It's like take that step, see how that felt. Didn't feel right. Take a step to the left. That's better.
But that's kind of was that Benjamin Franklin who made all the mistakes and said, well, I know what not to do.
Yeah.
and it's like if you have a destination that you're going and you make a wrong turn, circle back, make the block or something, don't stop. But most people are like Walking Dead. They're like waiting to die. They
are waiting for someone to lead them. It's not someone else's job to lead you to your destiny or to lead you to your purpose or to lead you to something. You're the only person that knows what lights you up. Period.
Yes.
Doesn't know
you up. I love that.
You got to find that thing that lights you up. And even if it seems kind of odd, like there's something, I've got lots of friends that are 501c3. So Cheryl's just joined a very good club. I'm very excited about that. But I found some friends that started 501c3s and I step with them because for whatever reason, it brings me joy. It helps, something lights up. So I just try to pay attention to what my insides are telling me because your insides are smarter than you ever will be consciously.
Right.
All that is so much smarter than you will ever give it credit for. Step into it. No matter how much.
501c3, for those of you who don't know, it means the nonprofit. But this is what I've talked to other people who've not been so as into it as you, as far as, yes, I will help you. Kim, this is one thing I can say about you. You are about helping other people.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's because you remember part of it. You remember when you needed help. And you know that, like the book of Esther, you're there for such a time as this. We are supposed to help each other as women. That's That's what this is all about. Because I see women all the time who are unfulfilled, who are disconnected, who are waiting for somebody else to make them happy, a man, a job, a child, and they have nothing on their own that they're working on or at, and they're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're not dying. And so I believe that part of the whole mission of the Beauty Box for him is to help people dream again, to help people wake up to life. Our days are numbered. So we need to not work to be happy one day, but happily work.
Truly. Oh, true. I did hear someone the other day say we're all queued up. The second you're born, you're queued up for death. Like you can't escape the line. You can't skip the line. You can't jump the line. You can't get out of it. You are queued up. So while you're in the queue, because we're all going the same place, make it count. Make it count. Queued doesn't mean you have to stand in line. It means you go do something else. So I think what you're saying is huge. And the thing about helping, jumping, people like to actually help. I've had more people come to me and say, can I do something? Like they're doing it to help themselves too, which thing too is recognizing the people that want to help because they need it for them. And sometimes I don't need help at that moment, but I can tell they needed to make sure to tell me they need to help me. Do y'all know?
But don't you see it too, that when you go out of your way to help somebody, even when you don't feel like it, but it's the thing you're supposed to do, don't you see blessings in other ways? I do it all the time. It's like, I'm glad I did that because I never would have met that person, or I never would have done that had I not done what I knew I was supposed to do. Right. Because we know what we're supposed to do. Okay. We have some comments going on here. Let me show this one. Patty Payne, absolutely key. You have to know how to do it all. Be hands-on. That gives you the authority and the credibility. She owns her own business. You can tell, right? She owns her own business. Let's see. Do we have any other comments right here that we want to share? If you have questions or thoughts or comments, please share. We would love to talk about it. Okay. So look, Kim.
Oh gosh, what is it? Oh yes, that's my.
This is some tea, you guys. Let me put Kim's information out so you can see how to get a hold of her. So we talked about the trueleaftea.com. I think, are you all on Amazon? And
we are. We sell on Amazon. We do trueleaftea.com mainly, and also in the tea room itself. So I own True Leaf Tea Company and McHugh Tea Room and Gift. So they're both physical locations as well.
And this is from a person who it's just wild to me that you never worked for your parents' restaurant, because that's how you never worked in a restaurant, and then boom, here you are.
That's one of those things when you said it just hit me like a lightning bolt. This is what I need to do. And when I said it to my husband, I go, I'm going to open up a tea room. And he was like,
you like tea? That was a thing. You already liked tea.
I like tea. Yeah, I've loved tea my whole life. And I was like, I wonder what I could do with this. So I did something like what you said, find something you love and find a way to make money at it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the direction I went. And so now I've done speaking engagements. I mean, we had one with a Hadassah group, a 501c3 Hadassah group, with 500, almost 600 people on the call. Wow. And they were all over the world. They were in Africa, Israel, and everywhere. And I was a guest speaker for it because they wanted to hear about how tea could help their health, because they were trying so hard to stay healthy during COVID and what to do. And now I get these constant comments from people like, I was on the Hadassah call and I've now got a good tea habit and my cholesterol's down this much, or my weight's down this much. Or they said this been a lifelong irritant of theirs. It's like that thing, like that 10 pounds won't let go, or something about themselves that they just physically wanted to change, and that's what they did. I was so impressed by people taking small thing. Pennies a day. It's a luxury. It's an affordable luxury to be hoity-toity and sit there with your cup of tea and listen to birds in the morning.
Oh, that's what Bailey calls it. Where's the bougie tea?
There you go, the bougie tea.
This ain't the HEB tea. This is the bougie tea.
For real.
She loves it. Oh, and I want to tell you, let's see. Stephanie says, tell us about your tea, please. What is it? Wait a second. That's the Holy Spirit at work, like a lightning bolt. Angela Campbell says, So good to see you. We need to touch base. And Cindy Holmes Anderson,
Hi,
she's
Cindy.
on here. She says she loves us both. Yeah, those are some of our girls from back in the day. So tell us just a little bit about your tea, please. What is
The
it?
tea. True Leaf Tea Company was developed in 2010, and what I wanted was tea with no chemicals, pesticides, nothing in there. Tea and coffee are one of the most heavily laden products that we consume in America that have a tremendous amount of pesticide on it, tons of pesticide. Chemicals that kill the bees and kill everything else too, which is, as we have a problem with that. But yeah, not to go into all these chemical compounds, but there's a lot of them on there, and they're known carcinogenic. So they cause everything from liver cancer, stomach cancers, kidney cancers, and feminine cancers, and amongst other things. We've got to stop drinking poison, basically. So when someone comes to me, and Cheryl, you just mentioned this about I got to watch my mouth sometimes, but like I want to say something, but then I'm like, ugh. Well, I did say this to this lady. She comes in, she goes, "Do you have anything that tastes like Lipton?" And I said, "God, I hope not."
I
Like,
did.
yeah, we do bougie tea. We do no chemicals, no nothing. If there's any flavoring in the tea, it's done with organic flavoring, like essential oils or things like that. The fruits are dried fruits. They reconstitute when you add water to them. It increases the flavor. So it's fun. You can't get bored.
Good. It's good. I have organic cranberry, apple, Egyptian peppermint, and they're all organic. Chamomile and lavender and vanilla rooibos. How do you say
Yeah,
that?
rooibos. Yeah, it's a South African herb, rooibos, and it's got a sweet note to it. It looks like a tumbleweed, but it's
Yeah.
all red bush, and it's so good for you. Super high in antioxidants, more than blueberries, and it's the simplest thing in the world to do, to drink. Anywhere from 3 or 4 cups a day. Just sip it with your lunch. Sip it after dinner. Helps your digestion system. Helps your digestive enzymes so that your system works better. There's so many little silly things that you don't even think about, that you could sit there and watch your reruns of Murder, She Wrote and have a glass of, I'm like, my mother has now gotten into it. But I do want to say for you, and I'm surprising you with this too, for anybody that's on this call and helping Cheryl and supporting her and her brand new 501c3, which is going to kill it, by the way, because this is needed. I've got a $50 gift card to give to one lucky winner today. Cheryl knows who's on this call, and she will do a random drawing, and she's going to tell me who the winner is and give me your information. So be expecting a $50 gift card to McHugh Tea Room and Gifts.
Oh, thank you so much. You're such a beautiful person inside and out. I love me some Kim, for sure. So our time is about up here. Would you like to leave the ladies with a last thought, maybe to inspire or to motivate them? Is there anything that you'd like to share?
Yes, I'm into this thing right now about alignment, finding things in your soul and sitting still and aligning. That's like my word. Everyone, did you pick a word this year? Like when New Year happened and you're like, "There's my word of the year." Did you all do that?
We didn't, but we'll do that at our goal setting session that we're having. But lately, mine's been intentional.
Oh, there's good. That's a good one. Intentional's good. Mine this year is alignment. And I just like feeling aligned. It's like that vibration, when vibrations align, they feel good. It happens in music, it happens in nature. And I'm like, I want to have that alignment feeling. So that's what I'm going to challenge and encourage everyone on this call to do, is sit in with alignment. It doesn't have to be the right thing, but for the person to the left or the right of you, or your husband or your kids or anybody else for that matter. This is about your personal alignment. You were born as the only soul human that you are. That's it. You have one soul and it's you. Sit with it and see what aligns so that you can feel the direction that gives you joy and happiness. When you go that direction, it will touch other people, period. That's just how it works, period. And I love that. So I really would like to challenge y'all to be aligned and to sit with yourself and find that joy.
I feel like that's when you're on purpose with what you were created for.
Feels good.
Nobody else.
Almost like a heat. It's like a grounding and a lifting at the same time. It's wonderful.
Yes, thank you so much. So I've already told some of the ladies that we're going to have to figure out how to do our first annual tea party at your tea room, and maybe even make it a fundraiser. I don't even know. I don't know how this works, but we're going to figure it out.
We're going to do that. We'll talk.
We're going to do some things because I'm sure you have had some experience with it. So I love having people that I can reach out to, and more than that, reach up to,
Oh,
and owning your own business and working with all these other people with 501c3s. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on and empowering us. And you've truly enriched our lives. And I pray that we will take something, that some of us will take something from this, and it'll make a difference for us. And thank you for making a difference. And one thing I know about Kim, Kim loves animals. Kim loves women. She loves food.
all the
She
above.
loves life, and she loves me. And I feel so honored and blessed to have you. Thank you so
I love
much.
you, Miss Cheryl. Thank
Yes.
you.
People are saying thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm sure you guys are going to be checking out her tea room and her teas online. Let them up know that you're from the Beauty Box. I love you all and I appreciate you. Thank you for your time, Kim.
Thank you so much, ladies. Go out there and make a difference because you got it in you to do it. It'll
Oh,
make a difference in everyone around you. And thank you, Cheryl, so much for having me and for being the powerhouse that you are. And since I've known you forever to be that, keep on going, girl.
thank
Strong,
you.
bigger and better every day.
Thank you so much. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye bye, guys.